Hey everybody, and welcome to the Ask Alex Show, episode number 5. And this episode I'm going to be answering a couple of questions. So I'm going to crack straight into that from Westlake here in Hanoi, Vietnam. And the first question we have today is about MERS in South Korea. MERS. That is the disease that's been going around, and there's been a lot of scare about it, and rightly so. I mean, it's a disease that, could be fatal to you, to anyone who gets it. So I understand the worry when David, thanks for the question, David asked if it's going to be a problem with getting a job because a lot of the schools have closed in South Korea because of this. And his question is, is it going to be a problem, and what should I do about it? Well, the answer to this is that in true Korean fashion, they have totally overblown the problem and grossly mishandled it. And that's something that happens a lot in Korea. And the problem is, yes, it is contagious, yes, it can get around, but according to WHO and the reports they've put out, the World Health Organization actually says that all you really have to worry about is washing your hands and avoiding hospitals, and that all the schools should actually be opening up right now, and they shouldn't be closed at all. So in essence, don't worry about it. Come over, still look for a job, and it's going to blow over pretty soon, I'm sure. That's the general recommendations based on what's actually been put out there, and not going into the sensationalized media that's going on right now. Okay, going into question number 2. Cynthia asked, why do some teachers work at only one school, whereas other teachers work at multiple schools in South Korea? And the reason for this is that, especially if you're employed by the government through the EPIK program, you will be very much of the time, very often you'll be working at multiple schools. And the reason for this is that before, it was often the case that you would be at a rural school, and then there just wouldn't be enough classes for you, so you'd go to different schools. Now, however, with the recent cuts, and I have to mention this again and again and again, but EPIK is just really difficult to get into right now. Like, you can honestly try and get in, but unless you hold a degree in teaching, it's going to be very difficult. That's what they're moving towards now, hiring qualified teachers. There's still a chance, so you can go for it. But nowadays, they are actually taking the EPIK teachers and spreading them out through schools. And the reason for that is just the budget cuts. They don't have enough money for schools, every single school, to have a teacher. This is a bit different. If you work at a private academy, you're typically going to be employed at one school and one school only, because that is the private organization that has hired you. Very rarely you will work at multiple schools with, within the same company. But for the most part, you're going to work at a single school. And then the third question we have today is from Joy. And Joy asks, what is the difference essentially between EPIK and GEPIK? Are they affiliated? Why would you choose one over the other? And they are quite different, because EPIK is a program. The EPIK program in Korea is what it stands for. And they bring in teachers and place them in schools. So you apply through the program, and then you get placed in a school. GEPIK, on the other hand, is just the broad term for all the schools in the surrounding Seoul area. And they all follow a similar contract, a similar system. So, if you're working at a GEPIK school, you're in the Gyeonggi-do province that surrounds Seoul, and you've got the same contract as everyone else working in those schools. And you don't apply through a program, you get hired individually by the schools. Now, I should mention that the GEPIK program is almost exclusively hiring from inside the country. Again, this is to do with budget cuts. So, if a recruiter is telling you, yeah, we'll find you a Gyeonggi-do job through a GEPIK, I'd be wary of that, because a lot of the time, they're just not going to hire someone from outside the country. So just bear that in mind. That's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this format with a couple more questions all thrown in. I'm trying to speed it up. Tell me if you like this. Send in your questions, and make sure to subscribe for, more updates about teaching in Korea and Asia and China, Vietnam, Thailand, all of that good stuff. All right, I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.